Okay, I'm going to call the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for May the 28th, 2019 to order. And as usual, we'll begin with an invocation tonight. I'd invite the Vice Mayor to do that as we stand, and then I'll lead in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. Thank you for this great nation that we live in. We recognize the blessings that we are afforded. We also know that these blessings come through your grace, your goodness. We know that we've just passed a memorial holiday, and we've honored those soldiers and people who have given the ultimate. But we ask your blessings upon those who are currently providing services for us and protecting the freedoms that we so greatly enjoy. We ask your blessings upon each of us tonight, those of us who make decisions and have to make decisions that ultimately affect the direction that the city of Franklin will go. We ask your blessings upon us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
May be seated. Next item on the agenda are citizen comments for items that are not on the agenda. I have no speaker cards tonight, so we'll move on to communications from the Williamson County Commission. I don't have anyone here from the commission, I don't believe, no. So we'll move on to approval of the minutes from May the 14th, 2019, 5 p.m. work session, and the May 14th, 2019 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. We now have a recognition. I'd ask Amanda Rose to come up for the My Historic Franklin photo contest. So,
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your time this evening. I'm Amanda, the Preservation Planner for the City of Franklin, and I am so excited to announce the winners of the My Historic Franklin Photo Contest. It's an annual photo contest that the city hosts to recognize the landscapes and buildings that our community finds worthy of preservation as part of the National Preservation Month celebration. So you can see on the screen there are a number of submittals that we had, and it made it very difficult for us to choose as always. But we have a number of photos that include outbuildings, landscapes such as cemeteries and watersheds, as well as beautiful buildings, big and small. So we're really excited that our community finds those types of treasures worthy of preservation in our community. So we'd like to announce the three winners. We have a first, second, and third place. Our third place winner is Mr. Clutson for his sunset at Harlansdale Farm.
do you want all together or one at a time?
Well, they may appreciate having.
Okay, let's go up here.
Okay. We'll do it all together, if that's what you. It's quite a picture. And you can just stay up here.
Our second place winner is Laura Stendel for her photo of Rest Haven Cemetery. And I did want to add that Ms. Stendel had a beautiful commentary post with the actual photograph about how she's instilling the values of history to her children, her daughter in the photograph, as they help teach the history of our community. So it was really special. All right, and our first place winner with this beautiful photograph of Barn on Hillsborough Road, we have Trent Wallace. Trenton Wallace. And Trenton has received a wonderful gift from several sponsors, including 2 tickets to the Pilgrimage Festival in September, as well as gifts from the Heritage Foundation, the Franklin Masonic Hall, the Battle of Franklin Trust, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So we thank all the sponsors here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come on up.
that, we're going to move to miscellaneous reports, and I don't have any. I don't see anybody else jumping ahead, so we'll go to the consent agenda, and all items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. Tonight, we're considering items number 9 through 14. I would like to ask Mr. Stuckey to make a few comments, and I know he's going to ask that we defer number 20 till June the 11th.
Yes, I want to highlight two things. Item 11 is a budget amendment, and that had worked through our Finance Committee a couple weeks ago, and there was a modification made to that amendment. We have added an additional $350,000 to the transfer to the Employee Pension Fund. We had some additional data come in regarding what we needed to contribute on behalf of our employees that are participants in the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System. The number that's reflected there is just in the closed city plan, so when we combine those, we really need to add another $350,000 to put us where we want to be and hit the numbers the actuary has recommended for us. And that really covers what we need to have in for next year's budget. So we're really ahead of that, but feel that's best to do as part of the closeout and amendments this year. So that number is $350,000 higher. We're fine with you all voting on that as part of consent, but wanted to note that change that is a little bit different than what we had put before the Budget and Finance Committee. And then the final item, as the mayor referenced, item 20, we would ask that you include in your motion tonight that item 20 be deferred to the June 11th meeting. It'll come back on consent there as well. There's an error that needs to be fixed in that document, and we would like to do that and then bring that back to you on June 11th for approval on consent.
Okay, I would now entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda with the removal of item 20.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion by Alderman Martin,
Second.
seconded by Alderman
Does that
Bransford.
motion include a
Blanton.
deferral of 20 to June 11th?
As stated.
Okay, thank you.
As stated. Thank you. Okay, any discussion? You ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 3, this is consideration of Resolution 2019-30, a resolution to annex property along Long Lane Refuge Center PUD subdivision Bennett property consisting of plus or minus 7 acres for the property located south of Long Lane and east of Williamson County Agricultural Center and adjoining the city with limits within the southeast part of the Franklin urban growth boundary, establishing a public hearing for June the 25th, 2019. Is there a motion?
I would move for approval to public hearing for June
Second.
25th.
Appropriate motion, second by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Alderman Blanton,
You're having a hard time with me tonight.
2 B words.
Please switch seats.
Which seat?
I think for those of you who don't necessarily understand why that was so quick and done, I think what Pearl was trying to say and why I second it is there has been a lot of public outcry on this, both for and against, and I think that we like to move things onward so that we get to hear from the people. At least that was my reason for that, because there has been, I've received tremendous amount of communication, so moving it forward so that we can have the public hearing.
And that's my motion as well. It's very important that we hear from our citizens, both sides, in a public forum and have transparency.
Alderman Peterson. Any other comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 4, consideration ordinance 2019-09, an ordinance to zone plus or minus 7 acres general office district hilltop overlay Goose Creek character area overlay 4D. Wow. And conventional standards for the property located south of Long Lane and east of Williamson County Agricultural Center, Refuge Center PUD, establishing a public hearing on June the 25th, 2019. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Appropriate motion, second by Alderman Speedy. Any discussion?
I want to say something.
Alderman Martin, I'll recognize you.
Well, in order to avoid repeating myself and rambling, I'm going to read my thoughts on this matter, and I'm going to say it tonight because I know when we have the public hearing, there's going to be a lot of discussion, and I'd just soon not be a part of that. I'll listen, but these are my thoughts. I believe the Refuge Center is a vital element to this community. With the turmoil we face every day in our society and the free-fall mode of life so many are experiencing, we need all the assistance we can get to keep us and our children safe, sane, and successfully functioning. There is absolutely no question in my mind about this. Now to another matter, the property. Due to the anticipated growth and changes in this area, that is, number one, the overpass on Long Lane, number two, the envisioned intersection at Carruthers and Long Lane, number three, the development in progress further down on Long Lane, number four, the Ag Center already there, which may have a developmental change. I must look at what will probably occur in the not-too-distant future. This proposed project is similar to a church or a school, and I really do not think the size of this planned structure will be nearly as intrusive to the neighborhood. However the property owners choose to develop their land, either keep it rural residential or add more dense residential, I believe this particular use, with its height and architecture, will have the least impact on the present homes and land. Thank you.
Other comments? Alderman Speedy?
I wasn't going to speak, but I'll go ahead and say similar to Alderman Martin. I mean, I think it fits a piece of property that's contiguous to the city limits. It's within the urban growth boundary. With Envision Franklin designated as regional commerce, I do view this as a business that has good transition features. And along with Margaret Martin's comments that we've got the #1 capital investment project in the city, $22 million extension of Long Lane, Carruthers being 4 lanes, Goose Creek extension. I mean, the growth is planned for that area. And I've heard a lot of concerns too, I guess, about the traffic. I think they've addressed some of those concerns, adding the turn lanes. I think I've mentioned, it's probably been several months ago, that right now the Refuge Center is in my neighborhood. So I didn't even know they existed until about a year ago. So that tells you probably the traffic impact I think they've had to my neighborhood. The homes have not done nothing but appreciate in the 12 years that I've been there. There's no crime. There's 2 daycare centers 100 yards from the existing facility, and I don't think there's been any issues there. So this is something I'll be supporting.
Any other comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I have a question very quickly before I go to item 5 and 6. Item 5 relates to an award for to PMA Management Company of Nashville for third-party administrative services. And number 6 is actually a resolution establishing a self-insured workers' compensation.
It would probably make sense to vote on 6 and then vote on 5.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were thinking the same
Good
page.
thought.
So we're going to go to item 6, which is consideration resolution 2019-51, a resolution of the City of Franklin relating to the establishment of a self-insured workman's compensation program with claims administered by a third-party administrator. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion. Is there a second by Vice Mayor? Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 5, consideration procurement award to PMA Management Corp. of Nashville, Tennessee for third-party administration services for workman's compensation self-insured program if implemented beginning with the policy year beginning July 1st, 2019 for a term of award for the First Manager Division Human Resources Department. Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
Appropriate motion by Alderman Blanton, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 7, Consideration Resolution 2019-44, a resolution to approve the Battle of Franklin marker text as relative to the Fuller Story Initiative. And as you make your motion, if that's what you plan on doing, tell me which option that you're selecting. Alderman McClendon.
I'll move approval with option 1.
Second.
Appropriate motion and second. Any discussion?
I'll speak to why.
Alderman McClendon, you're recognized.
The monument speaks for itself. I don't think the plaque about the Battle of Franklin needs to address it.
End of comments? Any other discussion or comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 8, consideration of resolution 20, did I miss something? Resolution 2019-01, a resolution directing staff to proceed with flood insurance rate mapping associated with Ralston Branch. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Peterson.
Just wanted to say that, remember, this came about because the city and the people that we were paying to work on it were never able to come up with any way to take care of the real problem in this area. So this is just kind of an aside to that, and I'm still concerned about having people come under in the floodplain area, and they're going to have to pay to have their houses, which we think are all constructed above the floodplain, but they're going to have to pay to get that survey work done to keep them from being required to pay flood insurance unless they're, I guess, if they have a mortgage, their mortgager might require it anyway, even if they don't have that. So, as I say, just, I have a problem with doing that.
Alderman Martin.
Well, if we didn't do that, if we voted against this, and it's not recorded, then how will the next people know that it's subject to flooding?
Any other comments?
See, I-
We have a lot of places here that are subject to flooding that were not, on the FEMA maps.
Well, is it fair, now that we know, is it fair for us to keep it a secret?
Well, apparently, they're going to be shown to be out of the floodplain if they have the survey work done anyway.
Well, then why are they in the floodplain if they're gonna take them out?
Good question.
Other comments?
I don't know that I can vote on this.
Mr. Stuckey?
We're trying to update the flood maps to reflect
Yeah.
accurate information that we know.
Right.
I don't know how else to tell you. You either want to have the most accurate data you have about what land is and is not in the floodplain, or you don't. And there is an option for folks. We believe all of the inhabitable space is outside of the flood level, but folks may have to further prove that so that they don't have to have flood insurance. That's unfortunate, but I think we feel from a staff standpoint that we have an obligation to share more complete information in our flood mapping, and our participation in the flood program really guides us in that as well. So I really think this is the appropriate action to take, given the data and the information we have.
I really do agree with that, you know.
Any other comments, questions? Ready to vote? Alderman Blanton.
I just want to say, it also pains me as well to think somebody is put in the floodplain. So I know that pond, or whatever you want to call it, at Liberty Hills is what it is, but I'm having a hard time supporting this as well. I just need to say that.
Okay, ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-1.
I'm a no.
Passes 5-2. Okay, we're ready to item 20, agreement for dedication, temporary access, and construction easement, City of Franklin contract number 2019-0076 to Clayton Properties Group, Inc. I'd ask for deferral.
Mr. Mayor, I think your original motion
Yeah, we-
deferred that.
We deferred that.
The consent motion included the deferral, so I think.
Thanks
you're-
for pointing that out. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Second by all the vice mayor. All in favor say aye.
No executive? Uh-oh.